Welcome to our latest video on Get Corporate Ready in 14 days. In this video, we're giving you the skills you need to receive feedback well. You really need to listen to this if you want to build a successful career. And why? Well, how good you are at receiving feedback will often have a bigger impact on your career than how good you are at giving feedback. It's one of the greatest tools for building success. In a conversation, you can show you have emotional intelligence, that you're coachable, that you can deal with adversity. And by getting feedback from different people with different experiences, you'll probably hear something you haven't thought about. Believe it or not, receiving feedback is a skill. If you do this badly, you'll begin to receive vague feedback, inaccurate feedback, or no feedback at all. And that's not a good thing. Did you know that the average CEO's performance starts dropping around 5 years in? Well, this is because they usually surround themselves with a core group of the same advisors. And after time, there are no new perspectives for them to hear. They become overconfident in their ideas and more closed to feedback from other people. So you might not be the CEO, or maybe you're heading in that direction. But either way, you need to know 4 things: what your blind spots are, how to get broad feedback, how to respond to feedback, and what to do with it. Everyone has blind spots, but what do we mean by blind spots? Well, this is going to be easier for me to explain with some visuals. So let's see this on the whiteboard. Think of this as a grid of insights about who you are. There's going to be things that you know about yourself and things that others know about you. And there's also going to be things that you don't know about yourself and things that others don't know about you. And this creates a grid where you've got this open area with the things that you and others both know about you. And you've got the things that you know, but others don't. And that is maybe you're keeping them hidden from others behind a bit of a facade. And then you've got things that others know about you, but you don't have a clue. Your blind spots. Our diagram here shows this in equal quadrants, but in fact, people with successful careers have expanded the open area and reduced the others. Being open is about having emotional intelligence, self-awareness, confidence, and the impact that you need to build great relationships with people. So, how do you expand that open area? Well, you reduce the hidden area through self-disclosure, revealing things about yourself, about your goals and aspirations, concerns, strengths, development areas. When you tell an advisor or a supporter that you are concerned about something or that you want to achieve something, they can help you get there. And that openness with your trusted network can really add value to your career. The second way to expand that open area is to ask others. Essentially, you're asking others to tell you what they see about you that sometimes you have no idea about. Maybe you had no idea that you came across really well when presenting an idea in a meeting, or that your constant use of the word maybe makes you sound really unsure of your ideas, even when they're great ideas. And we've not mentioned this 4th quadrant, things that neither you nor anyone else knows. And this could be because you've simply never had experience at it. How would you or anyone else know that you are an amazing DJ unless you've given it a go? And this is about getting out there and having a go at many different things. And watch out for our video on uncovering your strengths. It's about some shortcuts to find out what you're naturally good at. It's really enlightening. For example, Vera Wang, she tried the fashion industry at the age of 40. How could she find her own natural giftedness if she hadn't given it a try? When someone gives you feedback, there tends to be a couple of different types of character. There's the Debbie Downer, who likes to tell you when you're doing things wrong, and then there's lovely Linda, who likes to tell you everything you're doing right. It's important to have a balance of both, and a lot of times you'll need to ask for both or you won't get it. And this is exactly what happened to me a few years back. I had a really good manager, and all his feedback about me was good. But that even though that was really nice to hear, it hindered my ability to grow. So you need to hear the areas of improvement as well. And okay, you don't really want to say to your boss, What are the things that I'm doing wrong? What you do want to ask is for a couple of things that they think that you should stop doing, start doing, and continue doing. But don't surprise them with this question. Ask them in advance in an email so they can give it some thought beforehand. So this will give you a good balance of feedback, but sometimes that feedback can be quite vague. Things like continue your teamwork or stop negativity. When you hear these statements, you need to ask for specifics. You need to ask what specifically they see when you're working well in a team. Or can they tell you a bit more about when they last saw that negativity in your approach? And now that you've got a balance of feedback, you also have some specifics that you can work with. That's a broader range of feedback. But if you really want to shrink that blind spot, you need to broaden it even more. To do that, you need to think about who and what. It's usually easiest to ask for feedback from the people you naturally sync with, but they're the ones most likely to think like you, and then not really offer any new insights. So you need to think about who would it be most valuable to get feedback from. And that includes the people you work least well with, where there's maybe a bit of friction. But also, broaden that perspective. Ask for feedback from your seniors, your juniors, your peers, and your clients or customers. And this is sometimes called a 360 feedback. And think about what you want to ask them about. You might want to guide them through some specific areas, so tell them you're particularly interested in your delegation skills or how you project manage or maybe your personal impact. So now you've got things you should stop, start, and continue doing. You've got some specific examples here. You've given a range of areas you want to explore, and you've got feedback from all these directions, which include your close allies, as well as those where the relationship isn't so warm. So how do you respond to all this feedback once you've received it? What you need to remember is people will only provide you feedback if you're approachable and make them feel comfortable giving feedback. If it's always a really challenging conversation, then people will just avoid raising an issue with you, and that really robs you of the chance to do something about it. You'll just keep your blind spot on. Rule number 1, thank them for the feedback, even if you completely disagree with what they're saying. And here we're assuming that the person is offering constructive comments with a positive intent. But if they had the courage to tell you something difficult to say, you owe them the gratitude for having the courage and candor. So thank them for doing so. Rule number 2, handle your emotions offline. And watch out for our next video on emotional intelligence, where we will tell you some techniques on how to do this. Being defensive or justifying your behavior just makes you seem uncoachable or unable to listen. If you feel angry or upset, express those emotions later. Maybe with your parents or your partner or the wall. But use the time with the other person to ask questions to clarify or to hear about specifics. So suspend judgment. You're hearing about your impact on others and their perception, not necessarily your intention. And in feedback, perception is all there is. Rule number 3, take the comments away, reflect on them, and decide what to do with them. Think about how can you develop yourself and build your career using the information you've got. You've reduced your blind spot, but you also have the decision not to take action. Remember that this is somebody else's perception, and ultimately it's up to you what to do with this. But a little warning here, there's always going to be feedback that you disagree with, so make sure you're not dismissing it just because you didn't like what you heard. So there you have it. Receiving feedback is about knowing what your blind spots are, getting a breath of feedback, responding well to encourage future feedback, and deciding what to do with it. And now it's our turn to receive feedback. Tell us what you think or your experience in the comments below. We've also put some recommended books in there, but if you have some more, let us know and we'll add them to the list. And make sure you subscribe to our channel to keep up to date with our next videos. It's a quick and simple way to really transform your career. Thank you for watching. From your career. Thank you for watching. And that was crap. Okay. So it wasn't bad actually, but it was also... Okay, when you're ready? Yeah. Welcome to our latest video on Get Corporate Ready in 14 days. In this video, we're giving you the skills you need to receive feedback well. No. Okay. I think my ass is hurting. Okay. Guys, you're really... Okay. Guys, you're watching the promo video